On day 9 of our Alaskan adventure, we left the Hotel Alyeska and boarded the bus to Anchorage. There was lots of beautiful scenery along the way and great stories about settlers coming to the area, wildlife, and the mountains.
Kenai Mountain Range, and then on the right over here is the Chugach Mountain Range. So we're sandwiched in between two very beautiful mountain ranges with the Kinnick Arm right there. I love this. In pods, so
a beluga whale was spotted in the water as we passed, which sadly I couldn't see from my side of the bus.
Nope, there's beluga whale out there. About the 10 o'clock spot for you guys. When they were putting in the railroad, you can see on the left-hand side, they had to build this embankment up, which acted as a dam. So it prevented any of the salt water from moving in. It also prevented any of the fresh water coming down from the mountains to go out. Hood is the largest and busiest float plane base in the entire world. Very, very coveted spots. Very popular. There is a list to have a spot here. That list is about 20 years to get to the top. Another one, which I will point out to you.
Anchorage is the largest city in Alaska with a population of over 291,000. There are 3 airports in Anchorage. 2 of them are mostly used by locals for small, bush, and float planes. There are many parts of the state that are only reachable by one of those 2 types of planes.
You're gonna see some of these tires, how huge they are, the big fat black ones. Those are specifically for landing on the tundra. These smaller ones, that is for landing on pavement. But it's a popular place, especially the one on the left side, popular place for recreation. Anchorage's very first airstrip. In fact, the very first flight that went from Anchorage to Fairbanks took off from the Denali airfield right here.
We stopped for lunch at a small cafe, then boarded the bus again to continue our trip to Talkeetna.
The edges are very rounded and smooth. This whole valley where Anchorage is was carved out by a glacier. And they have those gates all the way along. Those are so that the moose can go in, but they can't come out. We're trying to keep them away from the road.
Oh, yay, okay.
Right? Part of that New Deal was bringing families from the Midwest up here to the Matsu Valley and start to farm. So about 200 families were brought up here. They were all given 40 acres of land. They were told that they had to clear it, build the house on it, and start growing. And they had a certain amount of time that they had to do that in, as well as the people building the railroad out in the middle of nowhere, right? And so what they would do is they would carry little vials of sourdough on them so that no matter where they were, they could make bread. And so we call these people sourdoughs. They're hardy people, right? Not every person is made of the stuff to live off-grid in Alaska, right? Does anyone remember the 90s show Northern Exposure?
Yeah.
So great. So Talkeetna is the town that the TV town was based on. Thank you, yeah. So again, I know Alaskanese not a word. I need to come up with a real word. But as you walk around Talkeetna, you're gonna see many antlers, lots of furs. It's very rustic. I love Talkeetna. It's out here away from the other cities. So again, if you get a chance, talk to the locals out here because they are fabulous. Also, walk down all the way to the end of the road where you're gonna find the river. If the mountain pops up, beautiful view right there. Just look north when you're at the river. Please be very careful. Again, this is where they have the flood advisory, so that river is going to be very, very high.
Talkeetna is a very small rustic village. We stayed at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge, which had a view of Mount Denali. Because of its height, it creates its own weather system and is often covered by clouds. So we had to settle for looking at a picture of the mountain. We're hoping for a better view when we get to the Denali National Park. We took a shuttle to the village to explore and have some dinner. We just had to stop at the studio of photographer Dora Redmond, known as Aurora Dora. Okay, so tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Dora. I'm well known as Aurora Dora
And why is that?
because I photograph the auroras. I'm in Talkeetna, Alaska, and have been photographing the Northern Lights for 25 years in this area.
25 years. How long have you lived here?
25.
Okay.
Yeah, from the get-go, I saw the auroras for the first time, and I knew why I was here, that I needed to share them with the world.
Were you a photographer before that?
Yeah, I was born with a camera. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, my first memory of a camera, I had 3 years old. A plastic camera Kodak that we crank up the film and had the 4 flashes and a cube on the top. I have memories of that one. But throughout my life, in my 20s, I did fashion photography for Vogue and Elle magazines. And then when I ended up in Alaska, I saw the beauty of this place, fell in love with Alaska, and started shooting Aurora and sharing for the world.
And so where did you grow up?
In Brazil.
Brazil.
I'm a tropical woman photographing auroras in 45 below.
Wow. How long did it take you to get used to the weather?
Oh, at least a year and a half and good winter gear. That's the important part.
Do you have a favorite photograph?
I have my favorite from the last season. Throughout my gallery, you are seeing my favorites because I have over 40 terabytes of images at home. My favorite from last season is up there. It's the one with oranges and pinks and purple. And that was shot in October 10th of last year.
That's awesome. And you said mostly the colors we see are what?
Color we see the most is green.
Yeah.
Then after that we see purple. Occasionally you see red, and super rare to see orange.
And what causes the Aurora Borealis?
They start in a sun. When a sunspot happens to have an explosion that is Earth-directed, when the solar wind gets to our planet, enter the atmosphere to the poles, excites the gases in the atmosphere, and that's what auroras are, the oxygen and nitrogen.
Oh, wow. So how can people see your work if they're not here? Where can they find you?
They can look on my website, is auroradora.com.
That's excellent. Anything else you want people to know?
You know, I hope everyone have the opportunity to see the aurora one day, or at least check my website and see some of what I see.
Excellent. I'm with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We stopped for dinner at the Homestead Kitchen, which had wonderful aromas wafting into the street. I have a sloppy joe made with elk, and Roger has a halibut sandwich, and the chips are homemade potato chips. I don't eat potato chips unless they're homemade. How is it? Look, it's steaming hot. Really good? Excellent. This thing is so big, I don't even know if I can pick it up. But I've got chips to scoop up anything that, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Really, really good. It tastes like sloppy joe, but there's a little bit different flavor because it's elk instead of beef. Absolutely delicious, and these potato chips are to die for. It's worth coming all the way to Talkeetna, Alaska. We couldn't leave without trying the firewood ice cream, which is a local favorite and very tasty. How's the fireweed ice cream? It's got vanilla, honey, and the fireweed. The end of another awe-inspiring day in Alaska.